Hello and welcome back. So, new episode in which we are going to be doing step 97 and 98. It seems like 97 is going to be a bit more, us working along, some practice. Basically, because there was a bit of an issue with the recording, to be honest. I've kind of had a look at the video already, and basically it's just explaining to us, what sort of things we need to do. So basically, the idea is that we are given one of these, so the index.html. So we're given this, and we have to make it into. Let me actually show you the actual files that we're going to be using. So this is the index, and this is the styles, and these are just mainly the colors from here, and this is the actual zones. So these are the actual. Let me do that. These are the actual like boxes, basically. So basically, as you can imagine, our plan is going to be to make the header into the header, cover into the cover, project, grid, and then footer. All separated out, all including different things. For instance, the header will have an about, project, our teams, and contacts section. The cover will have just the cover, explanation marks in the middle, and then project grid will have actual grids of our project, which will be something like this. So we'll have these inside of the grids. And then lastly, we will have a footer, which I think it just needs just like a really quick text, like made by me. That's it. So fun stuff. I'll get going on with that, and I'll see you in a bit. Bye bye.
When you want to get off the darkest ground, but gravity pulls you straight down. Earth from a bird's eye view. You should grow feathers and see this too.
Alright guys, welcome back. So, well, as you can see, we have done many things over quite a lot of time, but good learning. So basically, what have we done? Well, as you can see, it looks quite a bit different than it did before. So let me just set it up so you can see it properly. First of all, we had added, for the header, we have added about, products, our team, and contact. We had added these. Well, obviously we could make them into links, but that wasn't required, so I didn't. But obviously we could progress on to making them into links. And what I've done with that is that I have had that as that is. So first of all, we have made the body have margin of 0, so that there's no space like around these cubes. Then we have made the container of display grid, so it all shows up as in single file grids. Then we had the main. I think that we took the zones, the padding off of the zones, because each of them had their own separate, size. Then we have gone on to the green one. So the green one, we have made the list style, because we have used the list, as you can see, and we have made the styles to be none, so there's no like bullet points in front of it. Then we have made it into display grid, which allowed us to use the CSS grid functions, and then I made it repeat 3 times with an auto length, and then less than fr1, which means that the first 3 are just the size that they should be, so there's no other there's nothing else around them. But then afterwards we added padding of 10, so then it actually is padding of 10 here for the header, so that there's a bit of space around it, just on the sides and on the top. Then we had the last one, which was in F1, so this bit, and we've made that into the justify self end, so that it was to the right side of the thing, but there's still the padding is also included on that one, so it's not at the very end, which looks good. Then we moved on to the red one. We have had a padding of 150, and then here we have used flex just because it was just easier. Display flex, and then justify content center, boom, in the center. That was that for that one. Then here is where we have gone on to the more difficult part. So as you can see, we had the red one, just cover, and then we had the blue one, in which we have put all of these images in from the source that we have been given. I put them all into this file. Looks a bit messy, but hey ho. I took all the names out, put them into the sources, and then plonk them in here. Then first off, with the blue, we have given it a padding of 50, so on the top, side and bottom we have 50. Then we have made it a display grid, and then we have made the grid template columns repeat with auto filling with min max of 200 and a minimum of 200 and a maximum of FR1. So fun stuff. And then we had a gap of 70 pixels, which basically allows us to do something along the lines of, let me just do it separately. Can I not do it separately? No, yes I can. Which allows us to, have it be responsive, which is epic. So that's that. And then we have the images of displaying anything grid, justify self center, so that they're actually in the center of the actual grid. And then we had a width of 200, height of auto, background 20, gray, and then background color gray, and then padding 20. So the only place, because everything else is spot on in my opinion. I might have done it a different way to how the teacher's done it, but everything seems to be spot on. The only thing that is not spot on, which I was looking into, but I just couldn't really find a solution, and I mean, I've gotten everything else, so I'm still happy with what I've done. But for him, all these squares, these ones, all of them are the same size, and obviously the box is in the middle. And with padding you can't really achieve that, obviously, because I could have set this height to be 100, and then all of them would have been 200 by 100, but then that would have meant that they would have been this figure wouldn't have fit in, and that's not the way he has done it. Just don't really want to ruin these pictures by just making them the same size, which would have worked, but would have not just been as professional. So what I was trying to do is, we have the grids, is to fill in the grids with the grey color. And I was trying to look that up, but I wasn't really getting lucky with it, so I couldn't really find a way. Anyway, that's something that in the solutions video that will be coming up, I'll be wanting to have a look at. And then we have the last one, which is yellow, which is padding with 5 pixels, and all I've done is I just put my made by segment, there we go, done, dusted, settled. Great. So this was it for this part. I think I'll have a bit of a break and then crack on. To be honest, basically the next few videos will be us going over the solutions for these, so what he has done, some resources it seems. So I mean, because I've gotten basically to the end just with that one point I did mention, I don't think there's going to be much that we will need to be adjusting in them, or I don't think there will be much. You might have done it different, or sometimes even maybe a bit better ways, but yeah, we'll see how that goes. I'll take a bit of a break now, and See you in a bit. Hello. Okay, so let's crack on with the solutions for, you know, the previous task and see how we done. So I watched the first video, update anything that I kind of changed to, you know, make it better, and you know, anything that well, you can probably see what I've done right, so I just probably go over what I could have, what I will be improving on. So anyway, that's that, so I'll see you in a bit. Okay, quick update. So basically, here I have used a div tags. I've just changed it to UL, and basically I was supposed to use UL tags in front of the list, just because that actually makes it more semantic, which now we figured out. I think it's basically like just a more correct way of doing it. It's not really, it needs to be like that. I think it's just a bit more like, you know, like in English you have proper grammar. This is like proper grammar but for programming. So I'll try to use that now. So here this would be UL and this would be UL, and also he used the nav tag, which I'm going to look into next and see why he used that one, but it makes sense why we have the UL tag here, and I will use it as well. So let's crack on. Okay, so we figured out why nav is useful. Basically it's useful as it provides a more direct way of, you know, answering to, you know, people with, you know, special needs, or even just developers or in just general, to see what sort of use the enclosement has. And if you have the nav in, as you can see here, you know, it's more defined, and you know, we can figure out a bit more, you know, what's going on here, and it's easier to, you know, find different parts of the code using these sections. So because this is the case, I will put this into nav, so the green part will be in a container of itself, and that will do. So all good. Okay, another interesting thing, well not interesting, just something that does make sense, is if you replace this with li, then, because we only have these li's, we can actually get rid of all of this. So then we don't need to have the class header, which just saves space, but we can still, and we will still need the class last one, so we can use that. But instead of having it class, because I learned this as well, this is from a different time, but basically class is, you know, to refer to, you know, multiple things, and obviously because we're only going to have one class, we can use id, which is shorter and just kind of defines that we only have one of such item, which, there we go, and that should still that should still work, but I don't know why it doesn't. Anyway, we'll figure it out. But this is a way we have made this, you know, shrink quite a bit in size, which is quite cool. So fun stuff, let's keep going. Okay, another little update. So basically this was something that I could have also done, which is the way, well, I've done this in a bit of an awkward way. Basically I had a class of container containing all of this, and I've made that into a display grid maybe or something, and that did make it so that, you know, all of these lines were, you know, fully flushed out. But basically because I've been using divs, I didn't actually need that. The only reason why it was like that is because in the zone sections I had a display inline block, and after removing that, that was fixed. Also now contact information, everything moved to the right, which is amazing. And let's crack on. Okay, so basically what have we done? Well, as I mentioned briefly, we've done everything I've mentioned so far. Plus also I have well, I've basically done everything that I've shown you, but the one thing that he has done differently to what I've done is he has actually used display flags and had them so that there was, you know, a bit of space between them, and you know, as I did as well, you know, with the last, he has, instead of you know using justify self, and he used margin left auto, which is neat. And I'm not certain if I should follow what he's done. I don't want to copy all of what he's done, but at the other hand, I've already done it this way, and I've already, you know, like had it this way, but his way does seem to be a bit well, better, I guess, possibly, maybe. So I'm not certain on what to do, but I'll give it a quick think, and let's move on to the next video. This is just a 4-minute video. This is also about the nav bar. I'll go over this, and then I think I'll leave it as is for this video, and then in the next video I think we're going to go over, you know, the cover, the other, you know, project grid, the footer and whatnot. So it should be fun, and let's watch the video. Okay, so that's done. Basically what we have done in this little episode, or little, you know, section, is that we have used the media query, which is something I've actually learned and used before, so this is not something new to me, because this is what I've done for my startup page and whatnot. So I actually know how to use this, and I've been using it. So basically what this allows us to do is, you can see what used to happen is when we shrunk this, oh god, anyway, these used to like hang over each other, and they used to be a bit cramped. In his scenario it was even worse, because he, you know, we have our f1, you know, one fraction to the side, and I think our way might actually just be a bit better, maybe, possibly, because, you know, we have more like responsive-ity kind of stuff with ours. But basically us shrinking it down to, you know, after it's 600 pixels, you know, shrink it down so that we actually, you know, don't squish it all together too much. It's quite neat. So basically this is what we have done in this part, and just like looking more into it, I mean, if I haven't had known this, this would have been, you know, really cool, and it is, but we know it, so amazing. And I guess that's it for now. That's it for this episode. I know it's been a bit long one, but I think from now on I'll try to make longer and, you know, more information-y videos, so it should be fun. And if you liked, like, subscribe, whatnot, and see you next one. Bye bye.